Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Expansion Pack podcast, where we download this week's gaming news and we bring it to you. Welcome to episode 33. We're in a post E3 world now. We've seen all the games. We've heard all the things developers had to say, and we're gonna recap it for you this week. So, before we get into that, let's get the housekeeping stuff out of the way. Let's dive into our regular scheduled programming here. Talk about our favorite gaming moments of the week. So we're gonna start that off with Chris today. What's going on, Chris? What was your favorite gaming moment?
All right, so I'm not gonna hold y'all. Like, my gaming has been super sporadic this week, and I'll have y'all know, I didn't really play no Destiny. Woo! Okay, I didn't do that. I stayed away. I think in Destiny, I'm kind of just waiting for this next season to kind of hurry up and come, because I think I've done most everything I can do, except for them expunge missions. But what I did do this week was go back into some of them RPG games that I do need to finish and beat, because I keep talking about role playing for this stuff, and I've started to like kind of come up with little scripts and stuff that I want to use, but I still need to beat the games. So my moment was definitely in Fallout, because this is the first time I've played in a long time where I didn't get so frustrated. Because, dog, like, I would die constantly. I had no resources. And the game is like, I don't know, man. They make it really hard for people before you hit, like, level 28, I would say. Around then, it changes up a little bit. You start getting better drops and shit. But, boy, oh, boy, it is a grind before you can get up there. So, now that I hit that threshold, I got one more level, and I can wear some power armor, y'all. So
which one, 76 or 4?
76. 4 I beat on PlayStation like a couple years ago.
Yeah.
But yeah, 76. Because it's like, dude, if I can beat the game and like create like a house and all that stuff, the roleplay scenarios in this game are like endless. You can do a lot of shit with it. So trying to get there, and starting to make progress. So that's my answer.
Dope.
Okay. Well, Manny, you're up, man.
All right. Well, I kind of forgot about this one. I had a different answer, but so Friday I was playing Warzone with the boys, and the new season dropped, so we were just like, all right, let's play a game or two, and of course the first game we called a dub, but how it happened was crazy. So I forgot what part of the map it is, but it's in the left side of the map, and there's like these two hills, and we're like in the middle, in the bottom, and like the left side of the hill, I sniped these two dudes. Like, I downed somebody one shot and then hit somebody, knocked shields, and then sprayed them down and kill them. So, like, I went up that hill, pick up their loot, and what ended up happening was the dudes on the other hill were shooting at me, and we're playing trios, mind you. So, like, I downed the first dude with the headshot. The second dude knocked me and killed me. So the last dude was Danny in our team to like clutch it out for the team. So the dude in the other team revives his boy, and so it's like basically a 3v1 situation. And Danny, kills the dude to the right in the bottom of the hill. And then I was like, all right, there's two more. He downs the other two. And then like the match didn't end right away. So what ended up happening was Danny was like yelling at me. He's like, you lied to me. There's still one more person. And like, bro, mind you, I was screaming the lungs out of my soul right now. I was like, Danny, he has soul revive. And I wish I caught it or recording on it, but like, so yeah, he was picking himself up, and then he shot. Like, it was tough too, because like there's 3 people, you don't know who has self revive, and he got the lucky dude, and we ended up winning the match. And bro, let me tell you, I was like, my throat was hurting the rest of the day. Pause.
Pause. Oh, that's funny.
Okay. But yeah, that was like one of it, and then the second moment, I finally beat Mass Effect 2. I'm on the third one right now, so excited.
Hey, nice.
My God.
Yeah, but
Part 2 was lit though.
Part 2 was lit. The third one was weird because like it took a different turn, but it just feels different.
Yeah, it's not as good as the first.
It's not as good as the second. I was like, I don't understand how they switch it up, but like.
Well, but then again, that one's better than Andromeda. So
yeah,
I mean, that's different. Poison, yeah. That's different, but like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm still in the middle of the third one, so like, I got 8 hours on that. I think I had like a total of 45 hours before I beat 2, but like, I was playing that game.
I got one question to ask you though, Manny. Part two, when you go inside that afterlife club, say word that club ain't lit and jumping. That beat, bro, I don't know what it is, bro. Yo, fam. First time I heard it, I walked in there. Who DJ, yo?
I remember the mission we're in the VIP section and like your character dances and like my character was like, I'm gonna dance right next to you, but if you want to act like we're dancing like together, you can. I was like, yo, why is it like Captain Shepard show straight up like she don't want to be there? Mine's is a girl, obviously, because I picked a female characters according.
Yeah, we already knew. We already knew. Shocker, guys.
But yeah, man, you'll definitely hear more from Mass Effect 3 when I beat it.
All right, bet. Yeah, we'll be looking forward to your overall synopsis. But yeah, for me, my favorite gaming moment of the week comes from Splitgate. I got a chance to finally download the demo because the demo came out for the little Summer Games Fest demo event for the week of E3. Oh my god, I'm in love. I'm in love, guys. That game is a ton of fun. For those of you who don't know, Splitgate, it's like an arena shooter that mixes elements of Portal with elements of Halo. Is That's like the best way to really put it together. Uh, I barely mastered the way to like navigate through the world with the portals yet. Like obviously I've used it a couple times, but I feel like that game is set up in a similar way to Fortnite, where man, you can attest to this. When we all first started playing Fortnite, we really just focused on the gunplay stuff. We didn't really focus too much on the building. And then as time went on, we got better with the building. Manny, you got way better than any. You were more committed to anybody else to getting better with the building. So that just kind of you took that on, like you mastered that in a way.
Yeah.
I feel like the same situation is going to happen with Splitgate. Like people are only going to really wrap their heads around the gunplay side of things, which is fantastic, by the way. Like the gunplay, I'm going to put a clip up on here, but I was playing a match of Shoddy Sniper and I just freaking spazzed out, bro. Like I got like a quick 10 kills. And when you get 10 kills, like the announcer goes, collection agency. And I'm like, what? It's like, what does that mean?
Yeah.
But yeah, that man, Splitgate, it's fire. Unfortunately, as of right now, the demo got pulled out, but there is going to be an open beta July 1st, so we need to get in there. We need to get in there because that game is fucking fire. Anybody who's a Halo fan is gonna immediately love that, and even if you're not a Halo fan, it's just fucking fun. It's great. Gunplay is great. Everything about it is great. So definitely check out Splitgate. But yeah, that's my moment of the week. So, Chris, you're up, bro.
Ooh. Well, I don't know what just happened, gentlemen. Did you guys feel that sudden shift in temperature? Did you? Oh my god. Trey? Oh no, there's no Trey in there. Tripping. Y'all know it's time for the goddamn icebreaker.
Oh yeah.
Goddamn right. And this week, icebreaker is, we're doing like a big recap on E3. So the question would be, what next year do you guys want to see be different with E3, aside from hopefully us being able to like finally go in person and shit? Like obviously we want to do that, but like that's an easy answer. So, yeah, I don't know if it's down to how they present the games, or maybe whatever you guys can come up with, but that's what the icebreaker is this week. How can we come up with a way to somehow improve E3, even though it's pretty damn good, but there's always room for improvement somewhere. So what do y'all think?
All right. Manny, do you want to start this one off?
Go ahead.
All right. One thing, like, I know like they're gonna say like E3 in person next year, which is gonna be great, of course, but I kind of hope they have something for the people at home that still can't really afford to go on a trip and everything like that. Like maybe, like I thought it was cool this year. Like I know they did like the little exclusive thing where they got like the little mug if you watched it on the website and all that kind of stuff. But I wonder if if they do it in person, and like how they used to have like the little PlayStation, like not the PlayStation obviously, but like stations to play games at, where you're trying out the games that they showcase. I kind of hope that maybe like for the people that can't afford a trip to E3, like they'll have like these little stations or like online stations where these like you just download an app on your PC, or if they somehow make way into like an Xbox console, whatever, where you can try out these games early. I feel like that would be pretty dope for the like like I said, the people that can't afford it. Like yeah, even if they have to pay like a little fee, you know what I'm saying? Like for to make it kind of like fair for the people that pay the money to go to E3, do all that kind of stuff. So, I'll hope to see maybe next year we get something like that.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
I like that idea. I guess I'll kind of take it a step further with what Manny said too. And I know I've said this on the podcast before, but we've been talking a lot, or Microsoft in particular, and a couple of the companies have been talking a lot about cloud gaming. Like this is the opportunity to really highlight cloud gaming and push it to the masses by having these demo events for consumers, right? For people who can't make it out to the show, who can't necessarily afford the flight out to LA and whatever it might cost to actually get a ticket to E3. Maybe you charge them, like Manny said, $50 for the weekend or something like that, and then they get their access to E3, and they get access to all these cloud-based demos, like all the same demos that you're gonna have up on the show floor, maybe minus one or two, right? To really keep that exclusivity and that feel of being at the show. But throw on, let's say next year comes around, right? And we're at the show, we get to play Starfield, right? Like put a cloud-based demo up on XCloud or something, and or even just partner with E3. Like I'm sure that Microsoft already has like clearly a very tight relationship with the ESA right now, because people have kind of been associating E3 these last couple of years with Microsoft, even though they technically haven't been on the show floor either. But they're right next to the Microsoft Theater and so on and so forth. So, and Sony hasn't been there in a while. So, Microsoft can use this as an opportunity to work with the ESA and say, hey, we will incorporate cloud gaming like into the E3 website so that people can just click a button, and if they've gotten their controller up or whatever, or they create a hub on the Xbox or so on and so forth, and people can just stream whatever the big game is. Like I feel like it's just a really good opportunity for Microsoft to kind of show off the technology that they have, and garner even more goodwill from gamers, like giving us more opportunities to have games that we can play. Like the demo events that they have are great and all, but they're relatively smaller titles, and I really enjoyed my time playing Splitgate. I enjoyed playing Tunic, but like I think giving indies their chance to shine is one thing, but actually having like streamable games that we can all play that are heavier hitters, like I feel like that would be a really really good idea, and I'm hoping that that's something that they might implement going forward.
Mhm.
I like it. I like it. Yeah, I mean, I echo a lot of what you guys have already said. I kind of have two things I would love to see, because with the demo thing, I kind of want to just piggyback. But I would like it if the demos that they did offer via the cloud service was more like a temporary demo, almost like how you just described with the Splitgate thing. Because to me, that's kind of like hype. You only could
Mm-hmm.
play it at E3, and then after that, can't touch it no more until
Absolutely.
whenever it releases or whatever. I think that's a cool way to go about it. But then another thing I would really, really like to see, and I think this would be huge for smaller gamers. What I've noticed, and this is not even just an E3 thing, this is a hype tactic that a lot of games that are going to use before they drop their final product. A lot of times they'll send stuff out to big name, reputable streamers and say, hey, you get exclusive access to this. Can you please do what you do, get it out there? I would love to see them flip it a little bit and try to like do like a random raffle or something and get a lesser known person to do it.
Mm.
Like I get why they do it with the big name streamers, because obviously they have the audience and the eyes are going to be there.
Mm-hmm.
But I always think about like if you gave that opportunity to, like for example, say one of us, dude, that is like a blessing damn near. And you telling me all these newer or not so big streamers, all their names get put in some hat, and they're gonna pick out one random person and say, hey, you get to play Battlefield 6, the streamer for 2 days, and nobody else can. Whoa, that shit is big as hell for so many smaller folks, man.
Mm-hmm.
Like a Nick Merckx or whatever like that. Him getting that opportunity, it don't really make or break him. He's already set, you know. And for him, it's more like he just has to keep upgrading his content and changing it a little bit so he stays fresh. But other than that, he's already good. But there's some little dudes out there, and I think stuff like that would help people so much.
Yeah.
So much, man. So much. I mean, that's the kind of shit right there that will literally take somebody's smaller page and blow it up overnight just because they had that kind of access. And I'm not saying you do it for mad people. I literally just, I'm like, you'll do it for one person a year.
Absolutely,
Like,
yeah.
make it that special. You know what I'm saying?
That'd be really cool.
I would love that. I would really, 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 really love to see that, man. Because, man, imagine that, man. You telling me I can only see Battlefield 6 stuff from this one dude right now? This Joe Schmo dude who just happens to have a Twitch channel? All right, bet. I guess I gotta go see what's good with Joe Schmo. And like, oh man, that's gonna help so much for some people, man.
Yeah,
definitely.
I know it'll never happen, but that's what I would like.
You know what though? I do think that could be a thing. I don't think it may not happen in a high profile way around E3 in the way that you're talking about, but I could see them, I could see certain companies or studios like really trying to find a particular streamer that may not be as well known and, like give them some exclusive access. And I can see that being a thing going forward, but maybe not around E3, which, I think would be amazing because that's the most exposure anybody can get as far as the gaming world goes. But yeah, I can see them trying to do that in other ways. I think if they did that regardless of where it was, I think it'd be amazing. I think that's something that would help a lot of people.
Just tired of seeing Jack Frags and Nick and all these dudes just constantly get these opportunities and they don't need them anymore.
Yeah,
they're good, bro.
Yeah, so, but at the same time, like you said, it is a marketing thing.
Yeah,
Right?
I know.
Yeah.
They definitely have the audience, so I can't never argue with that.
Because streamers, they've made games, right? Like, I think Phasmophobia is a great game. Fall Guys, those are good games, but like the community engagement around having streamers stream that stuff, that just sent it to another level. Like Among Us, right? Like I think Among Us is a fun game. Is it as good as everybody has made it out to be? Maybe not necessarily, but the community that formed around it, the fact that all these big names and big streamers and even real life celebrities were playing that stuff, like it's
politicians,
yeah, absolutely. Like AOC and whatnot, like that's what makes that game larger than life in a way, at least for that moment in time. So I think that's definitely what studios are looking for. But yeah, I would love to see that, man. Yeah, I cannot wait for next year, man. E3, we will.
They let us in them doors. We in there, baby. We in there. God damn it.
I'm pretty sure the ESA already committed to trying to make sure it's an in-person event, especially with the way the pandemic has been looking so far. If things keep going the way it's going, we gonna be in LA next year, ladies and gentlemen.
Definitely. Xpac exclusive. Come catch us out late, take pictures.
We're gonna be running around. Gonna be
funny? We're gonna end up out there, but we're gonna end up with a way shittier like Airbnb than the one we had. Guarantee it, man. Because the one we had was right across the street.
Right across the street last. Oh, man. I'm still mad about that. We should have been out there, but things happened. It's all right.
She's gonna end up in East Bumfuck and have to take 2 Ubers to get to the event, bro. I'm telling you.
Based on my experiences being out there before, I can guarantee you that's not gonna happen for me because the first year we went out there, we were like in Korea. We were like staying in Koreatown, and the distance between there and the convention center was just not great. We couldn't walk really anywhere. By the time we got home, we were just beat, like tired. I was like, yeah, I'm never doing that again. So the year after we went, like the next year, we were like a block or 2 away, and it was perfect, man. It was freaking perfect. So we are going to be near the convention center. If we're not going to be near the convention center, I'm renting a car. I'm not excited about driving in California, but it needs to happen because I can't have that experience we had the very first time. But yeah, keep a lookout, guys. Next year we're gonna be there. That's a goal. That's definitely a big goal for us. So let's dive into our E3 recap for now. And this actually kind of piggybacks off of an icebreaker that Chris had before E3. So we're just gonna get it started here with our like roundtable discussion on this. So, biggest loser of the show. Want to get you guys' opinion on this. I want to hear what you guys have to say. Manny, I'm gonna start off with you, man. Who was the biggest loser of the show? It doesn't necessarily have to be somebody who was there, who wasn't there, whatever. Just the biggest loser in the industry. Go.
Capcom disappointed me, man. Like the best they you could have done. Yeah, they showed a couple of trailers for what the Great Ace Attorney 1 and 2. Freaking the new story trailer, great. But like they said, guess what, guys? We got Resident Evil 7, not 7, 8 DLC. The end.
Oh god.
No gameplay, no trailer, nothing. They're like, we have it. It's coming.
The
That's
least
it.
they could have done, bro, is like give us a taste, like a feel for what the DLC is going to be, like a screenshot, something. Nah, dude gets on stage. Hey, we are excited for the success of Resident Evil Village, and just so you know, because of this success, we will have DLC. Okay,
The
like
end. The end.
thanks.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, man. That was a big disappointment for me
Oh
because
my
I was just
gosh.
like, you set this big show and this is like the best you have to offer. Like, I don't know. I mean, at this point, like just Capcom's last couple, special shows, like the Resident Evil 25th anniversary and the one before that, it was just they weren't really great anyway. So like, I guess I shouldn't expected the best from them, even though it's like you would want the best. So I wish, I wish they could at least show the gameplay trailer, not gameplay, but like a trailer for it.
yeah.
That would have been fine. I would have been happy with that.
But even
But
the stuff that they did show
Yeah.
was like Ace Attorney and like a
Monster
little bit more
Hunter,
Monster Hunter
like,
stuff. Like there was
yeah.
nothing like new, like truly new. It was just like, what are you guys doing here? Like
Yeah.
Yeah, man. Like,
this could have been an email.
Damn.
Really though, could have been an email.
they need to. I feel like Capcom just have so
Oh,
much that
shucks,
they're
bro.
just not using. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know, man. I just feel like Capcom has just been slacking recently.
Yeah,
I
they've been
mean,
mailing it in.
we appreciate Village and all, but we want more.
Yeah,
For my next Marvel vs. Capcom, where the fuck is that shit, man?
yeah. The Resident Evil
Yeah.
team is killing it though. They're definitely propping up the company. Capcom does have things that they're doing. Like obviously, people like Monster Hunter. People like all the
Mhm.
other things that they're doing. Just I feel like from a presentation standpoint and what they have going on in the future, they just not really been hitting the mark. And I want to
Yeah.
see more.
So many iconic characters to work
Yeah.
with that they just
Like,
let
no
go aside, bro.
Yeah,
So many.
they could have even showed more stuff off from the Netflix shows that they have coming
Mhm.
along. Like they announced that the I forgot his name already. Lance Riddick, is it? The guy who's plays Zavala. He's gonna be
I believe
Wesker.
so.
Like that's huge news. You could have paired that with like a little teaser or something. I know it's probably super early in development, but there are certain things that even if you don't have the content, you could package it together a certain way to make it more appealing. And I just feel like Capcom did not find the way to do that. So yeah, I feel
Mhm.
you on that. They definitely missed the mark. But yeah, Manny, I mean, what were you looking for them to do? What do you think is like one of the biggest things they could have done to really change your mind about being the biggest loser?
Well, not only showing like a little trailer for that DLC that you're talking about, but like, I feel like, and I know obviously there was no news leading toward this, but like, I know we talked about how the fighting scene hasn't really like changed. Like they could have brought another Street Fighter. You know what I'm saying? It's been a console generation since we've seen a Street Fighter. Like Street Fighter 5 came out, I believe, like 2015 or so.
Yeah.
So like, like bring a new Street Fighter out. Like I'm sure the fighting community will love a game like that. Especially have it like, come out in time for what the next Evo. Is it Evo, this fighting tournament? I forgot what it's
Yep.
called.
Evo, yeah, you're right.
But yeah,
that's one of the big ones.
you know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
I'm surprised they didn't put their older stuff in Game Pass. Like all the older Street Fighters and stuff. Like you all should have been did that shit. I don't understand that one. All the
Yeah.
older stuff should be somewhere for people to play still.
Well, based on what we saw with their relationship with Sony, that could have something to do with it, with the way like
Mhm.
Resident Evil was
Yeah.
handled. It's possible. I don't know. That's
Yeah,
pure
I mean,
speculation.
even
at that
Street
point.
Fighter 5 is like I think only on PlayStation.
Only on
So like
PlayStation, yep.
I'm not.
Oh, I didn't know.
I wouldn't be
Okay.
surprised if it, like even if it is a PlayStation exclusive, like you know what I'm saying, like something new.
Yeah,
Yeah.
something new. But yeah,
But,
I don't know.
yeah.
Yeah.
Capcom, they did say they have a couple other things going on over the course of the summer. So I mean, I guess we'll keep our eyes peeled on it. But yeah, the presentation at E3 was definitely leaving a lot to be desired. But yeah, Chris, who do you think is your biggest loser? Of the show?
I got 3 answers. So in
Just pick
terms
one.
of
Just pick one.
just one, shit.
Your biggest loser.
It almost was Nintendo, but I probably will have to go with Square Enix because it's funny too. Because I've been like kind of tooting their horn for the last like few episodes at least. Oh, they're doing all this new stuff. Oh, they didn't want to get bought for a reason. And then like they come out and their presentation is like just not. It wasn't it to me. I didn't really see anything they did, to be honest with you, that kind of like made me feel hyped for anything. Besides some of the Returnal stuff or whatever that we already know is coming, but we already knew that. Like I'm talking about a new presentation that they might have given us. I didn't feel like they hit any marks for me at least. But yeah, it was almost Nintendo. If Nintendo didn't have Breath of the Wild 2 to show or something like that, whew, I would have gotten that ass today, boy. Like that right now. Cause oh boy.
You weren't excited for Metroid?
I'm not the biggest Metroid fan in the world. Like I know a lot of other people love it. It's cool, but for me it's more like it doesn't really move the needle for me personally as much. But Breath of the Wild 2, I will say that that was a little bit of hype, even though it still kind of sucks that last year that the guy came out and said, we don't got it, we got this. This year we get told it ain't ready yet, but here. And I'm almost thinking that they're probably not going to release it till they release the new Switch or whatever the hell they're going to be doing, or they'll release it alongside it, even though it's not a new system technically. Yeah, it almost was Nintendo, but I would have to give it to Square Enix. They didn't really do shit to me.
Yeah, I was a little upset we didn't get no Prime 4 news, but I mean, you know, what we got.
Yeah, Prime 4. They announced the wrong Metroid game. Like I'm excited for what they did announce, but yeah, they announced the wrong Metroid game.
Yeah,
But
Dread looks, you know, it looks good,
straight.
but like it's probably gonna be like an overpriced. You know what I'm saying? Like,
but I'll just say this real quick. I feel like Nintendo, they tend to cater. I've accepted the fact that they cater to their audience, and that's like where they keep their focus. So like I feel like it's harder and harder for me to come down on Nintendo now because they're just doing the things that the people who like their core audience wants, and those people were super excited for that show. Like those people put it in the same category as Microsoft's, and you know, I understand that like the Microsoft one is exactly what I was looking for, so I guess I can see where the perception of it comes through, but yeah, I don't know. I was watching a couple different recaps where people put the Nintendo one and the Microsoft one at the top, like the creme de la creme, and I was like, I don't see how those are in the same category, but you know, it is what it is.
Same order.
Yeah, but Square Enix though, you weren't excited about the Guardians game. You found no interest in that.
Even that, like, it was cool looking. Don't get me wrong, and will I play it when it comes out? Sure, but for E3, like that still wasn't like, I don't know. It looked cool, but it wasn't like what I expect. When I think of E3, I think people come in with their guns blazing, their big boy toys, and they're out here trying to make sure they leave an impression. And I think Guardians was cool and all, but like, if I had to pick what the best thing that they showed was, it would be Guardians. I'll say it like that. But I'm not like jumping out of my seat to spend $70 or whatever on that either. Now, no. No.
I mean, even when you put it into perspective, right? They spent 20 minutes on Guardians, and then after that, it was just a complete dumpster fire, right? Like they had that Platinum Games game that people were pissed off at because it didn't look good at all. The fucking Souls-like Final Fantasy game that looked terrible too. It was like I was super disappointed with that one because I was like, oh, bet another Souls-like. I'm here for it. Like this might be the way to get me back into Final Fantasy. No, it was terrible. That one guy in the trailer, like freaking Brosif McBro, like he's like, I want to destroy chaos. Like
chaos.
Chaos. Like, bro, settle down. Like,
I gotta figure out a way to get Brosif McBro into our thumbnail this week because that is great. That is fucking great.
Yeah.
He just looked like a stereotypical bro. Like he just did not look like he fit in a Final Fantasy game. It was very weird.
I agree.
Yelling about chaos. So yeah, Square Enix is definitely
chaos.
Like,
it feels like that's like an ongoing thing in all their games to me too. Like their story writing sometimes is just
corny. Yeah. But that to me took the cake. I don't know. That was something else. But yeah, for my answer on the Big Suzer, I think I'm gonna go a different direction with this one because it's not really somebody who was there, and I think that's what hurt them the most. And I'm gonna go with Sony. I feel like not being at the show at all really, like, when you look at everything that was happening, like, it's just this massive showcase of gaming, right? People are super excited about everything that was shown. Nintendo fans absolutely loved everything that Nintendo showed. Me as a Microsoft fan, absolutely loved everything that Microsoft had to show. I even enjoyed like the smaller shows, like the PC gaming show, the future game show. Like, I enjoyed those. They weren't amazing, but I still enjoyed it. It was just such a great celebration of everything gaming. And to
Hmm.
not have Sony there, like, it just, I don't know, I feel like it was just a loss for them. Like,
Yeah,
they
yeah,
obviously did their state of play thing, but everything that happened at the show, in my opinion, kind of overshadowed that, right? And then they also released Ratchet and Clank right on that weekend. Again, everything that happened overshadowed that. It was like the
yeah.
news blitz was so heavily Microsoft and Nintendo when Nintendo did their thing on Tuesday, it just like washed away any hype or anything that Sony had going on. And I don't know. I feel like it's definitely like hurting them in a way. Obviously, like hurting them is a relative term. They're still number one. They're still market leader. Everybody, knows PlayStation's brand, whatever, what have you. But when you compare it against what Microsoft showed off and all the different games and the fact that we're gonna have like a AAA game in Game Pass every single month going forward, like you see the Starfield, you see the Redfalls, and so on and so forth. Like, when you compare it to, okay, well, what have we seen from Sony? It's like, okay, we know Horizon looked great, but I said it when we were reacting to it. I was like, Horizon Zero Dawn is the best looking, or sorry, Forbidden West was the best looking game I saw for now, because I already know
Hmm.
that E3 is going to come around and change my mind about that. And sure enough, it did pretty quickly. So yeah, I feel like Sony missed an opportunity to be at the table really with everybody, soaking in all that news, and kind of, they had an opportunity to overshadow Nintendo, overshadow Microsoft. Probably wouldn't necessarily overshadow Microsoft because I don't know if they have as much to show yet. They obviously have a
Hmm.
lot cooking, but I don't know. Yeah, it was just a missed opportunity to me, in my opinion. Um,
No, I hear that. 100%. Definitely hear that.
like, even if they had shifted the Horizon state of play to the middle of E3, maybe on that Thursday when the Summer Games Fest thing was happening, like just moved it closer to E3 to have it
Hmm.
align with that. I feel like it would have, been a little bit better, right? Obviously, Jeff
Yeah.
Keighley isn't really part of E3. He's part of the Summer Games Fest stuff, but he was overlapping a lot with E3 and Summer Game Fest content. So I feel like you could have slipped that in there for a Summer Games Fest thing. It's like, oh, state of play Thursday before um before the kickoff event or after the kickoff event or whatever, or done it on a Friday. Friday didn't really have much going on. I think the most we had on Friday was like a Netflix event, and then the Koch Media, which was god awful. Honestly, if,
Hmm.
if I wasn't picking Sony in this, I probably would have picked that Koch Media event. If you guys even had like 5 seconds to watch that, you would already know it was bad. It was very
Mm.
bad. They had developers talking about stuff for 2 hours with no gameplay. It was it was a dumpster fire. So either way,
Bagel.
yeah,
Yeah, but
big old goose egg. It was not good. But yeah, Sony, yeah, I think they missed out. They missed out for sure.
Yeah, especially in comparison to just how much Microsoft showed, dude. Like, what was it, 30 titles in total or something
Yeah,
like that?
yeah,
That's
30
insane.
something, and then 27 of them are all in Game Pass. Like, it's
Mhm.
yeah.
Insane. It just is in comparison. It just, yeah,
Microsoft had so
Yeah.
much to show that they even had a second like conference later, like their
yeah.
extended event. And the extended event was really more just this is the one thing I will say. And this will lead into our next topic, which is best presentation. Um, I guess I'll just start off because I do think Microsoft had one of the best presentations in the show. Like, they focused on just showing you game after game after game after game. And the games that were closer to launch, they showed you good gameplay on. The things that were further out, you got CG trailers on. I feel like it was like the perfect amount of CG trailer here, an engine trailer there, full gameplay
Hmm.
trailer there. I feel like the way it was presented was just perfect. It was absolutely like the way I would want a major showcase to be. And then they had the wherewithal to say, okay, well, like, if we want to have developers sitting here and talking, let's do a separate event for that. So, they brought in a big community member, Paris Lilly. he hosted the whole thing. He was out there interviewing developers. We got a little bit more information about the Halos of the world and the Forzas and um, I almost said Ace Combat, but Flight Simulator. I was mixing up the Top Gun and the Flight Simulator stuff. But like we got a lot of information on those other things. And I feel like that was a really smart way to do it. So, overlapping into the next thing, I think Microsoft easily, in my opinion, had the best presentation of the show. But moving around the table again, Manny, what did you think was the best presentation?
You already know me, a new subscriber to Devolver Max Pass Plus. Easily the best presentation. I love that presentation. Even though it was just like, the little Max Pass Plus thing, it was just amazing. Like I love the way everything was like done. Like it was like even though they had those awkward, cringy moments of them just shoving down hot dogs on their throats and everything like that, it was just funny and great. It made me want to like subscribe. I'm not a real subscriber. I think it's like I didn't really like look into it, but like that like if I really was interested, I would like subscribe to it just because. But like, I think they had the best showcase. And, like, in terms of like entertaining and like what they did personally, like maybe the games wasn't like as great as the Microsoft showcase or whatever, but like it was still like a great showcase that had me interested for all 30 minutes.
Yeah. Okay. Word. Chris, what about you?
Honestly, I kind of have to agree with Goop. I wish Devolver did something with like Microsoft, because like I'm imagining their theatrics and their acting and all that stuff mixed in with how Microsoft did their presentation. Man, that'd have been a hell of a show, man. Because I do also appreciate how Microsoft did their thing with just the back to back games. It was very no nonsense, and Devolver shit was all about nonsense. So. It would just been cool to see them kind of come together and find a balance, like common ground. But man, it's hard to argue with what Microsoft did. But at the same time, like Devolver was very eye catching with how they did it, especially when they kept on making all the monetization jokes. Like, dog, that shit's funny, man. Like they're dead ass poking fun at the damn the gaming community. I just think it's hilarious. Yeah, they did a good job with that. But if we're just talking about raw games, then yeah, Microsoft did that. You're not beating 30. Like how you beating 30 games in that hour or whatever? No, you're not beating that. Yeah. That shit is. They jam packed that hour and change, man.
They really did.
Wow.
When they did the NFT cameo too, that was
even that. Yeah, that was really
non-fuckwittable tape. I'm looking at the website right now; it's sold out.
Oh god!
You really bought it?
I'm sure there's only like one or two.
Yeah.
They're something else. They always put on a good show though. Like, E3 and Devolver have been kind of like synonymous for like ridiculousness. And if you've ever seen or either one of you, I guess, if you've ever seen their first one, their very first show that they had at E3, it was just ridiculous. Like they showed little clips of it in the recap before the show started, and I know you guys were like reacting to it, like, what the hell is going on? Like the arms getting chopped off and blood everywhere. It was just absolutely ridiculous.
Yeah.
They're a ton of fun.
Shit was looking like Kill Bill, bro.
Yeah.
Golly. Jesus.
Nutty. All right, so moving on to the next topic here, because that was pretty quick. So what is your most anticipated? Oh, sorry. Nope, I'm getting ahead of myself. Most overhyped game of the show. Before we get into anticipated, most overhyped game of the show. Chris, I'm gonna start with you this time.
Ah, shit. Overhyped. I'm just trying to think, because it might have to be Elden Ring, but I don't know if there was anything else that I found overhyped.
Hey, Elden Ring, pick it. Go with it. Tell us why.
I mean, if it ain't that, then I'll probably have to go with something Nintendo wise. But yeah, let's just go Elden Ring. And it's not that the game looks bad or anything like that. I'm definitely still gonna play it for sure, because I play all these stupid. My camera. No, sorry.
You're good. You're back.
Oh gosh.
Run it back, Turbo.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with Elden Ring just strictly for the fact that, like, I play these medieval RPG games. Like, I do this. That's what I do. But, and this isn't even so much a knock on Elden Rings, but because it exists, it hurts them a little bit. I'm getting to the point where these games keep coming out and there's not much differentiation in between them, unless you're like Elder Scrolls, because Elder Scrolls to me is kind of like what set up a lot of these other games to exist in a big way. And then on top of it, not saying that the game looks ugly, but I just don't think it looks next gen compared to some of the other stuff that we've seen. So I don't know, but the one saving grace that I keep saying is that because I see George R.R. Martin's name on it, I'm expecting a game, not a game, but a story at least with more depth than maybe what we've seen in some of the other ones. Hopefully, he's not still writing the last part of the story to the game while the game's already out on the shelf, and then we get some fuck shit. But if we have to look at maybe the first few seasons of Game of Thrones before the last one, yeah, I'm looking for good stories.
The Game of Rings.
Because that last season, and there's stuff I liked in it, but man, you could tell the fact that he was still writing it while they were doing what it hurt stuff. But yeah, if anything is a saving grace, like I said, it's got to be that I'm thinking this story is going to be at least something. Like it's going to be something, hopefully, that we never seen before. I know there's going to be dragons. I know there's going to be fire and necromancy and skeletons walking around with swords because they're in every RPG. Like it's just you expect certain things at this point, I mean, am I lying? You gonna see one of them Skull Fighter dudes. They in every RPG, bro.
Yeah,
I believe they're even in Zelda Breath of the Wild. Some those Skull Fighter dudes popping up like, we in here too. Always ready for the sword. I'm just tired of them, man.
Spooky skeleton.
I feel. Okay, so yeah, I'm gonna say my piece on that for a second, but Manny, I'll let you go ahead.
Okay, since y'all gonna pick on Elden Ring, I'll join the bandwagon. Psych. No, let me stop. But I mean, I guess you could say it's kind of like an overhyped game, even though like it was just like kind of like recently like found out and then like woo, we see the gameplay. But that Final Fantasy Souls-like game was not it.
Damn, both of y'all took my answers.
It was not it. I'm sorry, but like, bro, like the way they were hyping is, oh, they got this Souls-like game made by the team that made Neo, and we everybody know that Neo games were good. Oh my goodness, it's gonna be a great game. And then you see the trailer, and it's like, chaos. I must kill chaos. I hate chaos. And I'm like, what is this?
Like, dude, the chat was crazy with the chaos shit after.
Is this what you think when you say Souls-like? Like killing chaos with an angry main character that just like I don't know, the game just didn't look appealing to me. Like the fighting mechanics look pretty basic. I mean, they could have done better. Like I don't know if they could have waited maybe to showcase this at a later date, maybe polish it a little better. But it just wasn't it. Honestly, I was kind of like turned down from it. Like it I was excited at first because Souls like I love playing Souls like games. I'm still trying to play Demon Souls. I'm playing Sekiro right now, but like that trailer didn't want me to like make me pick up the game. Nah, it was just not it. Like Chaos can wait.
I'm about to make a drinking game out of that Chaos thing, bro. How many times can we like get through a freaking Final Fantasy trailer now without hearing Chaos? So you guys both took my answers, which is fine because I agree with everything you guys said. Like I don't, Elden Ring. The more I watch the trailer, the more I'm like, okay, like I did kind of see more gameplay. Like it's I'm excited for this. So here's another thing I should say, right? Overhyped doesn't necessarily always mean bad. It just means that it is literally overhyped. I think Elden Ring fits into that conversation perfectly because it was almost this mythical thing. Like, oh, are we ever going to see a trailer? Is this, that, and the other? Like, is the trailer ever going to happen? We finally get the trailer. Jeff Keighley, he's overhyping it for obvious reasons, right? Like it gets him his viewership, so on and so forth. And I'm sure he's genuinely excited about the game because I am too. But from what I saw there, graphically, it didn't look like it was anything special. And I couldn't see that thing that made it different from every other Souls-like game so far. Again, like I said, I'm still excited for it. I still want to play it. And I almost feel bad like bringing this up in the same conversation as that other Final Fantasy game because the way I view them is very much not the same. Like I still think Elden Ring looks like a triple A game, quadruple A game, even whatever the hell that means, Microsoft. But whatever. um, but yeah, the Final Fantasy Souls like game that looks like absolute trash. I don't even think it's a situation where, Manny, you mentioned like maybe they could like fix it up a little bit or whatever or like polish it up. I don't even think it was a matter of polish. I just think the tone of that game, the tone of that trailer was awful. I don't know if that's something you can fix. It just looks like shovelware to me. Like something that they're gonna put out there and the fans of that game are gonna play it, but it's probably not gonna crack like 100,000 copies. Like it's not gonna sell like that. It's
Mhm.
ugh. I don't
And
know.
one, I'm sorry to cut you off, but one thing I'm just disappointed is we've seen the Final Fantasy VII remake and how beautiful that game looked, and then we get this, and it's just like, how,
Yeah,
like,
yeah. So
oh,
just out
man.
here to just pump out Final Fantasy games, I guess. Like give them some time. Let them just sit back and make like a high quality game, right? Like who's making
Mhm.
this? Team Ninja, right? Like
Mhm.
Team Ninja made. I mean, they've made high quality games before. Like Neo, I don't recall playing it enough to really remember how good of a game it was or wasn't. But they did make Ninja Gaidens back in the day, and those games are fucking amazing.
Hitters. Hitters.
Amazing games. So like what's going on? What's missing here? You have a franchise like Final Fantasy. You get to take it in a direction that a lot of people are interested in seeing, being more like real-time action fighting, all that stuff, and you just drop the ball. Like
Mhm.
I don't know if it was a matter of Square Enix not presenting it well, or if it's just that game just is that bad. But they might need to go back to the drawing board, especially after the reaction. Like people universally were disappointed with that. So
Yeah.
Yeah, everybody hated chaos.
I need to
everybody.
call George R. R. Martin for that shit too, man. Because I feel like if they got some actual like really good writers for some of their storylines, their games will go over so much better, man. But it's just it always comes off like the Square Enix games for the most part has like an antagonist, and they don't even explain why this person is a bad person or anything like that. Usually, it's just they exist. I am of darkness, and I am coming to rule the world, and you have to stop me or else. And then you kill him, right? Here's the thing: you kill him, and then he's dead, and then he reses as like this way bigger version of himself. I've consumed the darkness. You've seen this stuff in so many of these games, and that's like the basis of all other stories, bro. And yeah, they need somebody to write better, bro. They really do. Look at
Yeah, bro.
Outriders. Outriders is written very. All right, yeah,
That game
y'all
was
know,
cheesy. That
y'all
game was
know.
cheesy.
Like
Yeah.
I don't get it. All their games are like that, and they just never seem to hit it right when it comes to story. I don't know.
And then
Yeah.
you
Very
got games
strange.
like Tomb Raider that
Well,
are banging.
I was just gonna say Tomb Raider is good, except
Yeah,
for
true. I'll give them
Hitman
that
back
one.
when that was under them. I mean, they have Deus Ex. I would say, in my opinion, that was more focused around the Final Fantasy developers because I feel like all the other franchises they have are actually pretty well
Yeah,
written.
I know. I'll give you that
But
one.
yeah, I just
I will
think
give
Outriders is just it's trash. I finally deleted it this past week, so
And same.
there's that. But yeah, let's speed over to the next topic here. Um, most anticipated game finally. So we're gonna break this up a little differently here. We're gonna break it up by the conference. So we'll start it off. This is gonna end up being a rapid fire because we're already going super long on this one. But we'll start off with Ubisoft. So Manny, most anticipated game from Ubisoft. Go.
Riders Republic. Game looked beautiful.
Okay, Chris.
Yeah, and it's not even because it looked beautiful. I gotta go Riders too, just because I'm excited to play a game like that. I'm telling you, man, we've been crying for one of these games that combines everything in one, and I think this is gonna be a really big hit for them. I really, really think so. And hopefully it opens the doors for other things to happen. Because man, oh man, that got me hyped. It wasn't even that graphically crazy to me, bro. It just I was like, damn, I could snowboard, I could skateboard, I could BMX, I could.
Hmm.
Okay.
All in one.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, I'm super excited for that game. I'm gonna go a different direction just because you both picked it. I'll go with the Avatar game. I'm excited to see what that is about, like how they actually make that game work. It looks beautiful. It seems like they're really getting the full backing of like James Cameron and whatnot. So I think we'll get a story that feels true to that franchise, that world, and I'm sure it'll have some tie-in with the second movie that's coming out within the next year or two. So I'm excited to see what that's gonna be. So that'll be my pick.
I'm surprised when you guys said Rocksmith Plus. I know y'all were going crazy about that show.
It's hard for me to call that a game.
Yeah,
You know, like I don't know.
I am
I am
excited for that,
soup.
though.
I'm soup for that,
Yeah,
but
I'm very excited for that. But I don't know if I'd call it a game.
It's more like a super app.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. Yeah. It really is. You're right.
You're right. You're right.
All right. So moving on. Next one, Xbox. Manny, most anticipated game from Xbox.
You already know Forza Horizon 5. Oh my goodness. The whole show was like, is this Forza? Is this Forza? And then when he finally showed up, ooh, bro, the photorealistic graphics, mind blown, man. I'm so excited to play it day one. That's my pick.
I feel you. Chris, what about you?
Man. There's a lot, man. I really did enjoy Forza as well, but like I think they really did well with showcasing what they did for Halo. Man, some of the multiplayer stuff that it looks like you can do in it just looks really, really cool. Especially for somebody like me who isn't as seasoned as you guys is in that shit. So I'm very excited to jump into that. I love some of the Bethesda stuff, like the Redfall, that looked crazy. Even Starfield itself. I mean, like, yeah, Bethesda, they didn't show a lot, but it showed enough to make you go, damn. You know, like just enough to kind of say, damn.
Yep.
And I'm also happy we got the exclusivity, and I'm just happy that's out of the way too now.
Oh, yeah, I feel you. I think it was very telling, and this is something we'll probably get into within the next week, coming weeks or so. But I think it's very telling that Microsoft began the show with Bethesda and ended the show with Bethesda. And in almost any other year, right, we would be talking about a Microsoft showcase, and the expectation is that it would have began or ended with either Halo or Gears. So the fact that we went through an entire show that had two of their tentpole franchises being Forza and Halo, and neither one of them were the bookends of the show, tells you a lot about where Microsoft is right now, and probably how confident they are right now. They've got content. They have plenty of content. Like, to be able to show off Starfield and then end with Redfall. Redfall looks absolutely amazing. I would have picked that as my most anticipated game, and I wanted to try to pick something else that Manny didn't pick, but I have to. I am way too excited about Forza. That game looks absolutely beautiful. Like, again, my comment before was that Horizon Forbidden West is the most beautiful game I had seen so far next gen. Forza Horizon 5 blew that shit way out the water for me. That game looks absolutely breathtaking. The fact that they kept, like, they got us, like, 4 or 5 times in the presentation where they just kept showing a picture and you're like, that's not gameplay.
Yeah, and then it would just go right into it.
Yeah, they're like, well, this picture right over here is a cacti special in Mexico, and then he's like, and this is the gameplay, and it's like
the camera would just shift, bro.
It was like, oh my god, what are y'all doing to me, bro? It was, yeah.
Yeah. And the new MMO stuff that they look like they've improved upon, like, yeah, man, I'm oof.
It made me re-download Forza Horizon 4. Like, I was back in there just freaking drifting around, like having a ton of fun. I forgot how much extra stuff they added to that game. Like, there's a whole other island you can go to now, Manny. I don't know if you touched in a while.
I haven't touched it.
Crazy.
I see you on Fortune Island.
yeah. That Fortune Island thing is wild. They added obviously the Battle Royale mode in there, and they showed up that's going to come around to this new one. But one of the really cool things that I saw from that presentation as a whole with Forza was that new, like, creator lab thing where you can make the tracks and you could do, like, bowling and all that stuff. Horizon is one of those games where we've had so much fun playing, like, the tag modes and all those other things, playing that as a group. And now adding, like, this whole arena for us to do all types of crazy shit. Yeah, that's gonna be really cool.
I hope they have, like, I would be able to, like, I remember playing GTA with this, like a little demolition derby where you're just on top of, like, a little platform and, like, you're just knocking each other off. Like, I hope they have something like that.
Yo, yes,
that would be so dope.
I'm definitely looking for that. Oh, what was it? Was it tag or was it zombies? I think they had, like, zombies.
I think that I know it was, like, affected, whereas, like, you got 2 people affected or 1 person affected, and they're just, like, hit whoever is next, and then they affect. And then there's, I remember the King one where it's like you hold the crown and you have to hold the crown for a certain time to win.
Yep, that's another one.
Mm.
The infected one I think is my favorite though. So the idea of doing that with like a made up world that we all have, yeah, it's
And
gonna
I
be
can't wait to see what people come up with too. You know, like the possibilities are endless. So we're excited.
This is true. This is
Mhm.
true. All right. So moving on to the next one here. Sorry, took a little bit longer on that one.
It's all good.
But Forza, it just has to be talked about, man. It's just so
Yeah, man.
freaking beautiful. And it's gonna be
Yeah,
on
man.
Game Pass day one. I don't have to spend any extra money.
Mhm.
Anyways, Square Enix,
Mhm.
guys. Manny, go. Most anticipated game.
Hey man, Guardians of the Galaxy. That one hit. I like even though I was kind of upset that it was not a co-op experience. I'm still excited that the fact that they integrated like a whole story feature where like what you decide affects the ending pretty much. So I'm excited.
For sure. Chris?
From Square.
I feel like there's only one answer. It's so bad though.
He's gonna say
I
Final
can't
Fantasy
even
Pixel
think of an
Remastered
answer
Collection.
being real because I really can't think of anything that really truly got me going from them dudes this year, man. I guess maybe Guardians as well, but I don't want to just copy off Group's answer. I don't know, man. My answer might be no answer. I'm not gonna hold you because
Okay. That's
they
fair.
didn't do it this year, man. They
That's
didn't.
fair.
Like,
That is
I don't know.
totally an answer you guys can give. By the way, if there was nothing y'all were excited for,
Yeah, man.
just say it straight up. Just say it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Bet. Yeah. There is for me no other answer than Manny's answer because that was the only thing worth anything that was shown
Yeah.
at the Square Enix event. I'm very excited about that game. I'm actually glad that it's not co-op, mainly because I saw how much of a dumpster fire they made Avengers in the beginning around co-op. Like I'm actually still an advocate for that game. I think that game's a lot better than people are giving it credit for. But I think the co-op aspects early on like really led to some issues.
Yeah.
So having Guardians be that you're just, Peter Quill, aka Star-Lord, and you're just focused on like kind of directing the team and being the leader, and you have the Mass Effect style controls where you can tell people to go do this, that, and the other. But it seemed like the controls are a lot more streamlined than Mass Effect. Like I'm very pleased with what I saw from that game, and I'm hoping that they can flush out their vision because I feel like that game has the potential to be, for just as much as it has the potential to be an 8 and a 9, it has the potential to be a 4 and a 5. So like they're working with a wide range right now from what I've seen from that presentation. So it's the one I'm anticipating the most, mainly because there wasn't much else to anticipate from that.
Yeah. I don't know, man. I feel like I'm still skeptical when it comes to games like that, even though I know it looked better than what I usually see when it comes to stuff like that. But every time I see a video game that's like a movie to a video game or like the superhero stuff to a video game, not saying that they're all trash, but I'd argue most of them kind of are trash.
I agree.
I'm just hoping that they don't just like do something where maybe they showed us all the best parts of the game in that presentation or something like that, because I just think it has a high bust potential. I'll put it that way.
I think the superhero stuff is always an outlier, right? Like the good ones are always an outlier. Spider-Man is an outlier. The Dark Knight series, outlier.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, yeah,
that's it.
That's it. That's it. That was a really short list.
That is it. Yeah, none of the other ones really did what they really could have done. And even like, dog, think about DC Universe. How did that not work? Like, how did that not? But it didn't work. Nobody plays it.
It really didn't work.
Yeah, DCO wasn't really my favorite.
But I mean, just overall, the idea that you could literally make your own superhero and be in a universe with other folks.
Yeah.
That sounds like an idea that should have taken off to the moon. But
it just didn't. Yeah.
It did it.
I do feel like if that game had released now on console specific, like as like kind of the target, I think it could have done better. I don't know. It being like more of a PC MMO, I don't know if it lent itself to like really hitting like that. Yeah. And plus, it came out at a time where people were just like, "Oh, World of Warcraft, that's like all I'm going to do ever." So,
yeah, like if they made an updated one, I could see, but other than that,
I never got how that ended. It made no sense to me.
So, let's dive into the next one here. So, PC gaming show. That's gonna be a quick one. Manny.
Bro, that Naraka Blade Point, I can't wait to get my hands on that game, that Battle Royale game with the No,
I
he's not.
knew you were gonna say that.
That game looks freaking fire, bro. I can't wait to get my hands on it.
Okay, Chris.
PC gaming show. I'm trying to remember what we saw in there that might have like
I
got
remember
me
when
too.
we were talking about it. The game Manny said was the one that you really were talking about the
Yeah,
most.
I think that probably because a lot of them didn't hit for me at all either. I'm not gonna hold you. That I think that was around the time where they started showing a lot of platformy kind of stuff, and I don't know. I'm not turned off completely by platformers yet, but a lot of them nowadays just don't excite me. Like I gotta really like have nothing else to play to really want to sit down and do that. And that's even with Ori, and Ori's good. Ori's damn good, but I can't just sit here and play Ori over the rest of the shit I got to play. You know, it just doesn't work that way. Yeah, I guess I got to copy Goop's answer, but it's another one of those that like it didn't really like shiver me timbers or anything like that. I ain't gonna say it like that.
Okay. All right, for me, it's actually a game that we also saw at the Microsoft show. It was Lemmings Gate. It actually gave me a very similar vibe to Splitgate. Actually, I just realized there's gates in both of those titles. But yeah, it's like a very similar idea of like an arena shooter with like a different angle. It just looked interesting, you know. But I do agree with what you said, Chris. There wasn't too much that really knocked my socks off with that particular showcase. That one is very close to being like worst presentation, if we had a category.
Yeah,
Um,
man.
I still think Square would take that one, but it's pretty
Mhm.
damn close. Yeah, and I think well, I see. I get mixed up on this one, and this will go into our next topic too, which is the Future Game Show. I can't remember if this was shown off at the Future Game Show or if it was at the PC Games thing, but there was a game called Extinction. It was like around. It was like basically about dinosaurs. The
Yeah.
graphics in that game
It
looked
was Future
amazing.
Games.
Okay, all right, great. So then that's actually going to be my pick for the Future Game Show because that game looked amazing, and I want to learn a
Yeah.
lot more about it.
Not gonna hold you. That was a good one.
Yeah. But yeah. So future games, Manny.
Yeah, Future Game Show had a lot. Yo, can we talk about that Happy Game?
Yo,
Oh,
I think you might have been in the. I think you might have walked away for that one, Chris.
yeah, because I did walk away for a little bit.
That happy game was
They're
weird.
like, we're gonna show you the Happy Game Show. They didn't tell anything else about the game, but we're gonna play for you. And then, like at first it was like all happy, and the next thing you know, it turned to like this creepy horror game.
Yeah.
And I was like, yo, what is going on?
Yeah.
But besides, Happy Game, I actually was interested in the game. I'm guessing that's how I pronounce it, but Chernobylite. The game looked pretty dope. It looked like Stalker 2, but like just like a different reiteration because it was like this Russian post-apocalyptic game. So that game looked pretty dope. And I'm gonna add this as a little bonus, but Kiwi, you know what I'm saying? That game looked dope.
Kiwi.
And if you don't know what Kiwi is, it's those two little birds working at the post office. It's freaking cute. I want to play it. So
I feel
I'm
that.
the
I respect
that's
that. Kiwi was
yeah.
dope. Kiwi was dope.
Kiwi was dope.
Hey.
Chris, what about you? I know you missed some of that one, but
Yeah, but shit, man. If I had to, and I didn't even get to see all of what they showed for it on this day, but that boxing game is. I am waiting for this, man. Y'all heard me talk about this a couple times, fam. I cannot wait to play this game. I can't wait to whoop some ass in 4K. I cannot wait, bruh. This shit right here, I cannot, dude. Every time I see anything for it, it looks more and more fluid, and I'm like really curious to like what technology they're using to kind of map some of that stuff, because some of it almost comes off like they weren't able to map any of this the subtle stuff before, and now they are. And I'm like, I wonder what you guys are doing different. I know, like, obviously we got better consoles and stuff like that, but dude, some of that stuff looks too realistic with how they move, man. I don't know, bro. Like, it makes you feel like your flexibility and the things you're able to pull off while you're in the ring are like legit. And if it feels legit, that means when you get a knockout on somebody or something like that,
satisfying.
You better be able to, play as Logan brothers, so I can beat them up.
First off, I'm gonna just say this: if the Logan brothers were in that game, we would have already known. They would have been on the cover.
That's
Like
true.
Yeah.
as much shit as I would love to talk about them Logan brothers, they know how to promote their asses off, bro.
True.
That's true. That's true.
They know promotion like the back of their hand. So yeah, if they was associated with that game, whoo, everybody would know about it. Everybody would know about it.
That would be a good marketing move,
Yeah,
just like reach out to them. But
absolutely, they should.
I
They
need
should.
them dudes to make a WWE game, man. If this is, I want them to make one so bad, so bad. Fuck 2K, and THQ, and all of that crap. WWE, you need to start messing with these esport cats, man. Stop playing, man. Let's go.
That's. I think
Shit.
it's one of those things where if we, if we as the community look at that and say this is what we want, and we all go out and buy their game, like WWE, the people who own that license, the people who
UFC, all of that,
all those. Well, I think UFC is pretty entrenched with EA right now.
But yeah.
But EA might buy that studio or something. Like they're. I think people really need to like understand that studio needs our support. Like they're doing
their first game,
really
right?
good shit. I don't know if it's their first game or not, but they clearly seem to be doing something very good there. And the animations and the physics of that game look very different from any of the other fighting games that we've been seeing, like the UFCs and all that stuff. We need to put them on. Like people need to go support them because that's gonna be massive. If they get their hands on the UFC and all those other licenses, that could be a big deal.
I hope it's one of those things where Mike saw Caesar's company do this thing and they're like, so Game Pass.
I just want to stream it, bro. Like, see, that's a game that would get me excited to stream. Because if you get good at it, you talking about you just knocking kids out left and right. There go another one. Come on, chat. Am I not lit? Am I not lit?
Are you not entertained? Yes.
Yeah, man. It sucks it's PC first before it hits console, but like I definitely, I'm hoping it's crossplay because I pick it up on PC. Like,
3-0. I'm 3-0. What's up? What's up, yo, bro? I'm telling you, man. Games like that cause beef. They cause beef, and I'm here for it. I am here for it. They cause people to stop talking to one another for a little bit. They cause money to be lost, and sometimes they even cause a real fight in real life.
It's like, oh, you ain't knocking me out. You ain't knocking me out.
You're gonna back the fight night days, yo.
I'm telling you, bro.
So outcasts used to be at each other's houses. Nah, you're not knocking me out, yo. You're not. Nah.
Damn. But we didn't have none of this streaming stuff back then. That's why I'm like, yo, when this comes out, I can't wait to see what they do with this, man. Like, the tourneys, the. Sorry.
I'm here for it.
I'm here.
All right, so we got our final main conference, and that's gonna be Nintendo, guys. So I skipped the Capcom one because there's nothing. There's nothing to talk about there.
Let's talk about we were making a DLC.
Oh my god. Anyways, Nintendo, Manny, go. Most anticipated game.
Yo, the Nintendo Switch Pro announcement. That's what I mean, shout out to is it Kazumi, right? Kazumi that's gone from Tekken it's Kazumi, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, Kazumi. I don't know why I get the names mixed up. You know what I'm saying? All the tech divided. But Kazumi being in Super Smash, that's actually, pretty lit. Might get me to, play Super Smash for, a couple minutes a day, you know what I'm saying? But I did like the whole little like introduction they did with them and everything. Like that was pretty hyped. I'm not gonna lie.
We had a whole showcase of games and we're still talking about
Smash.
Don't get me started.
We not gonna do it. Chris, most anticipated Nintendo game, go.
My only answer can be Breath of the Wild, and even within that, like that's still not coming out till next year, I think.
Yep. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So yeah, like my Switch is still gonna cut dust for the rest of 2021 right now.
I'm pretty sure your Switch is gonna collect dust for a while because you're probably not gonna play that game on your Switch now. You're probably gonna play it on the Switch Pro.
Yeah, you're right. I probably should sell this while I can because people are still going crazy over them.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, while I'm not playing it, shit, God damn it, podcast buddies. Y'all done gave me a good idea. I might really sell this shit. Damn.
Why don't you pound
I'll
your
keep my
boy
games
and
for
let
the
him
pro
know
or
that
whatever
you
if I get it, and then just sell the console. Fuck
Yeah.
that.
All right.
Drifting ass Joy-Con.
Hey, email your boy May 25th if y'all trying to get a Switch, apparently. But yeah, so for my answer on the most anticipated Nintendo game, it's got to be Breath of the Wild 2 as well, because they didn't show me my Metroid game. They didn't show me the one I wanted. So until y'all give me Prime 4, I'm gonna be very mad at y'all. But yeah,
for real.
Breath of the Wild 2, can't wait for that. That's clearly gonna be not clearly, but there's a good chance that it's gonna be a Switch Pro game. So yeah, we'll wait for Nintendo to drop that news whenever the heck they decide to do it. Probably be in the fall. But yeah. So the final thing we're gonna get into with the anticipated games thing is, what is your most overall anticipated game? So outside of these conferences or within the conferences, just overall the most anticipated game you have seen in that week of E3, and that can also include the kickoff event for the summer game show as well. So Manny, take it away.
Man, I'm excited for that Halo Infinite multiplayer, bro. Like, I can't wait. Like, I was watching the little devs interview and how they're talking about the game and everything like that, and it just get me so much more excited. Like, they need to drop like a beta right now. I just want to play so bad. Like Halo.
Halo. Beautiful. All right, Chris, what about you? Most anticipated overall?
It's a really, really good question. Honestly, I might have to go back to the boxing game. I'm super excited to play that shit. Like, I cannot say it enough.
I don't
I'm
blame you,
really
man.
excited to play that.
It's been a minute.
Yeah, too long. It's been what, over
Too long.
what, a
Since
decade
Fight
or
Night Champions
something?
at
It's been a
2011.
what? Yeah, a decade. That's crazy. Too long, fam. And stuff like this to me again can somewhat maybe change how other games get made if it does well enough. So like, you said, let's support them, but I want to play that.
Okay.
Remember in Fight Night when it first came out, and the big hook, well, at least for me, was in the commercial, right? And they showed the dude getting punched in slow motion for the first time.
Yep.
Fam.
That was everything. That was
Classic, man.
everything
Classic.
back then.
Whew.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't wait. I can't wait to play that game, bro.
I feel
Cannot.
you. All right, so for me, I don't want to pick multiple things. I don't generally like doing that, but I feel like this game needs to be talked about. But I'll start off by saying my most anticipated game overall that they showed is Forza. Like, I need that game. It is so freaking beautiful, and that says a lot because I'm not a racing guy. Like, I don't care about cars. I don't consider myself a big racing game fan, but that game, my headphones keep falling. That game, it's just too undeniable. Like, it just looks that freaking good. So yeah, that's easily my pick. But I feel like we haven't had a chance to talk about this game based off everything we've said so far. So I need to give Back for Blood its due.
Oh shit. Yeah, you're right.
Like, that game looks like a lot of fun. We've been waiting for our Left 4 Dead, replacement. And obviously this is going to be it. The fact that it's in Game Pass is huge news. Game Pass day one, part of Microsoft's, 6 games in 6 months campaign or whatever. Like, it's definitely going to be heavily highlighted when it comes out in October. Yeah. Is it October or is it September? Did I just get that mixed up?
No, October. It's October.
Okay, yeah. October. I mean, it's gonna be huge. I'm super excited for it. That's definitely gonna be my honorable mention. Yeah, that's it for me.
Yeah, man.
But the very last topic, this one might go a little bit longer, even though we're a little bit over on time. That's okay, because I think it's important to talk about. What do you guys think who's the winner of E3 here, guys? Manny, start off.
I mean, we already know who's the biggest winner, boys. Yeah, Game Pass.
Facts. It's facts.
Bro, the fact that the Microsoft Showcase, like, more than half of it is for Game Pass day one. And like Denzel said, with this, like, the 6 months, 6 games, Game Pass day one. like Microsoft Flight Simulator. We got Psychonauts coming out in August. I forgot what the September one is, honestly. Then you know Back for Blood in October, November Forza, and presumably December Halo. Like, you know what I'm saying? You can't lose.
Yeah.
You can't lose.
can't.
That right there, that value, you pay like a year Game Pass. What you pay $15 a month, 10 months, like let's say $175, and then like you're getting like all these AAA games for free. Like it's
Yeah.
just you can't beat. And like the fact that not only that, but next year we got Starfield and possibly Redfall. I think honestly, just like the fact that we're getting these games day one is just a big deal. And like it's just not. I don't feel like it's being talked about a lot. Like you know what I'm saying? Like I feel like people's just forgetting the fact that if you're subscribed to this, you're getting these games for free. And I feel like that in itself is just a big dub for I mean I'm a Games Pass subscriber, so like of course I'm gonna be excited for it.
Yeah.
I hear that.
It's.
Mhm.
I feel like you hit the nail on the head with where I was going with that question. It's Game Pass. But
Yeah.
Chris, I'm gonna let you say your piece first before I say anything else.
First thing I would like to say is that I love how we are getting stuff on day one, and there's certain folks out there who are gonna be able to play Starfield on day none. Day none. Y'all see what I did there? Okay.
Unfortunately, yes.
My man said unfortunately. But yeah, man. Biggest winner of the show. Huh. Yeah, I guess I would have to go with Microsoft in general. I think they showed off great stuff for Game Pass. I think they knocked it out of the park with their Halo stuff. I think that they very much put their foot down with saying that our acquisition of Bethesda was totally worth it with what they did in the showcase. Especially considering, like you said, they started it with that, they ended it with Bethesda. Clearly, that's like a big pillar for the whole Microsoft family now. So like, man, they did so many things right, man. So many things right. They gave us so many things to look forward to. And the funny thing is like it's not that ain't even everything. I don't think. I still think they got a couple tricks up their sleeve that they're waiting to go for. And then on top of this, the fact that the cloud gaming stuff is really starting to like really pick up steam and probably will, get somewhere crazy. I want to say hopefully by next year. Like it's just man, Microsoft. Hats off to those dudes, man. I think they definitely deserve the winner. The fact that people are putting Nintendo in the same, not even the same boat. You shouldn't even put them in the same ocean. Shouldn't even be in the same ocean as these guys right now. I don't got party chat, man. No. Like I don't want to hear it. Don't want to hear it. Get the damn Discord or something, man. Jesus. Yeah, it's got to be Microsoft, bro. They put too much in front of our faces. They spoke to the consumers in terms of the people who are doing the Game Pass thing, and they just gave us more reason to keep talking about it. It's just like everything was done right, all of it. The only thing that they could have done that could have been any better is like announce that some film adaptation is going to be finally made for one of their big games or something like that. Like maybe we finally get the Halo movie we never got or whatever. That could have been the only thing that maybe would have set that off any more than it already was. But they did a very good job.
It's crazy you brought that up because they are making a Halo TV show. And it's going to be on Showtime. I'm surprised we didn't hear anything about that this week.
Yeah,
it was an easy opportunity for them to slide that in somewhere, even if they did it in the Game Pass Extended, right? Like the fact that they have so much content. They have so much content that they had to push off to a separate show, and then there's still these big mysteries that haven't really hit yet, right? We haven't really seen anything on Hellblade yet. Hellblade 2. And that was the first Xbox Series X game announced, period. Because it was shown off at the same time they announced the console. So like, yeah, it's crazy, man. There's so many other things that they haven't really like showed us yet. But yeah, I'm there for my answer on this. There's like a cheesy answer, and then there's the I guess the realistic answer, right? The cheesy answer is obviously all of us as gamers won, right? Like we're the biggest winners of the show
I
because
almost said that.
there's so many things for us to play, there's so many things for us to enjoy, and like gaming is just in like the most healthy place it can be, right? But
I
we're
don't
not
know.
doing
The
the
answer was
cheesy
cheesy.
answer.
It was cheesy.
Nah,
We're gonna
yeah,
get the
that
real.
was gonna say that. I decided not to because of the same
Yeah,
reason.
We
it's the
win
cheesy
as
answer.
gamers.
But the real shit is, Microsoft killed it. They were the
Yeah.
people, that they were the biggest conversation around E3, right?
Mhm.
Everybody was talking about all the amazing that they showed, you know, uh Outer Worlds 2, even like the way that trailer was
Yeah.
presented. They didn't even show anything, but just the way that trailer was presented, it was so self-aware, so tongue-in-cheek. It's just like, this is funny, like this is cool,
Yeah.
like literally everything that they showed off, like Chris mentioned, it showed like a very consumer friendly side of Microsoft. Obviously, we know that they've been doing this for a while, but Chris, you even mentioned like what players on certain systems can't play, right? Like, yeah, like, and I'm sure that largely probably annoys the shit out of Phil Spencer, because at the end of the day, like, if you're a PlayStation player and you don't want to go buy a system and you want to play Starfield,
Just
just
use their
freaking
stuff.
stream it.
Yeah.
Just
Mhm.
stream it. Use your phone, use your laptop. You could go get the Xbox streaming stick that they announced that they're gonna, push out. Like they announced it last week as well. Like I think they said it's gonna probably be like what, a $50 stick or something. You just buy that and get your Game Pass and then stream all your games to your TV. Like, there are so many opportunities for you to play all of the things that Microsoft has to offer, that this conversation around like it's not going to be on PlayStation, it's kind of derivative and it's annoying, right? Like, at some
Mhm.
level, if I worked for Microsoft, I would be annoyed about that, because we're talking more about where it's not going to be as opposed to where it is. And there are so many, like, yeah, great, okay, whatever. There are, I forgot what the number was, 10 million PlayStation 5s out in the world or whatever. Let's just say it's 10 million, right?
Yeah.
How many fucking phones are out in the world? How many fucking laptops are out in the world? All right? Like, we're talking about these 10 million gamers who also have phones and also have laptops. So realistically, we're looking at like the 10 billion people who have the opportunity to go out and play these games. Like, that's where Microsoft's looking at. That's where they're targeted. That's why this whole conversation around like, they would lose money by putting it on PlayStation. No, they're not gonna lose money by putting it on PlayStation. Like, that's not their target audience. The target is
Yeah.
they're targeting literally everybody. They want you to be in their ecosystem everywhere. Like, on a PC, on a iPhone, on an Android phone. Like, that's their target. That's what they care about. So yeah, Microsoft, I think they've shown off their vision. They fired off their first shots. And I say first shots because they clearly have a lot more left in the barrel. They got a lot more
Mhm.
to shoot off.
Mhm.
Um,
Fable,
Yeah,
Scorn.
Fable,
Like, come on,
Everwild,
man.
Scorn. I mean,
Yeah.
there's so many other things that we just haven't seen yet. And
Mhm.
that's not even to mention, like, there was heavy, heavy, heavy rumors about acquisition talk. And I think Microsoft wanted to keep things very focused on just the games in their presentation. So they didn't want to necessarily do acquisition announcements and all that stuff. But I'm sure there's some studios that they've acquired that we don't know
Mhm.
about yet, or they haven't, they chosen not to announce yet. There's the deal with Kojima that's still been floating around. We
Mhm.
got some news this week that one of the people that Kojima was heavily working with at Stadia left Google and is now working for Microsoft. I think the person's name is Kim Swift. So Kim was working like heavily on cloud gaming first, like mainly cloud gaming initiatives at Google, and now they're working for Microsoft. Like, and it's kind of all kind of coming together, right? Like the rumors that we've heard about Kojima making a cloud first game, a cloud based game. I mean, there's so many other things that Microsoft has in the barrel.
Mhm.
And we still don't really know what a Redfall is. We still don't really know what that Contraband game is. They have a lot of other things to show us. And
Yeah.
yeah, I mean,
Sorry. I don't mean to cut you off.
yeah.
Honorable mention. We cannot end the show without talking about this. The reason why they really winning at the end of the day, like on some real, they making a fucking fridge, y'all. Like a real one. A real ass fridge. Right? With glowy ass green lights and shit inside of it. And it's supposed to be coming with some crazy cooling tech. from what the description is saying. Fam, you gonna have your G Fuel or Gamer Goop.
Hey,
You know what I mean?
get that gamer goop,
Get that
guys.
done in your Xbox refrigerator. Oh, PlayStation ain't got no goddamn refrigerator.
You better watch out. They might have a Wi-Fi router.
Oh god. Oh god. They already look
That
like
fridge
a
is
Wi-Fi
lit,
router.
man. Look, out of everything that wasn't gaming, the fridge and that damn razor chair was just like, god damn, those are the two dopest accessories I've seen
Yeah, it's
outside of any games this
really
weekend.
fucking
Golly.
cool.
So we're not gonna talk about the Razer's new RGB mask.
I don't want to hear
No.
about mask anymore. Like, why did y'all wait like to the
A
tail
year
end of the
after.
pandemic for this?
Yeah, seriously.
Like, I mean, people will be using that at raves now, I guess.
Yeah. Yeah, actually, they probably will.
Actually, be
You
kind
They
of
got
will.
that. You got that RTX breathing.
Oh god. All right.
That ass. So you cool
On
it
that
down.
note, I think it's time to wrap this one up, guys. That was our recap of E3. We'll come to you next week with some more gaming news. Hopefully, we got some other things to talk about. But before we go, as we always do, Manny, where can the people find you?
You already know. Twitch.tv/GoodMasterFlex. Instagram, Twitter, GoodMasterFlex_TTV. And TikTok, No Context Gaming.
Can't forget the
Hey.
TikToks. Y'all. Can't forget the TikToks. All right, Chris, what about you, bro? Where can the people find you?
You already know I'm on everything legit. Same typing, same lettering, May 25th. Oh, let me I gotta spell it out for y'all. Hold up, man. MAY25THXX. Including Gmail. Pen pal your boy. And yeah, I'm thinking about actually maybe even doing like a and I don't know if I'm allowed to. If you do it on Twitch and you do like a reaction to something that you're currently watching, but you're not showing what you're watching, is that allowed? You can do that, right?
You can show what you're watching usually. Depends on what are you depends on what you're planning on watching. But you can do reaction videos.
Are you talking about YouTube videos or
No, I'm talking about like what if you was to go on Twitch like right after we're done and try to like do a live reaction to the draft lottery or some shit like that? Are you allowed to do that?
That might be different
That
because
might
it's
be
NBA.
different. Yeah.
NBA. You know how to go.
But even if I don't show anything, it's just me like watching it and talking. That still is a.
You can react without showing anything, but if you showed something, yeah, that wouldn't fly because of the way the NBA handles the copyright stuff. But there are many other things that you could just live react to.
Okay, all right.
For legal purposes, we're not affiliated with this live knowledge.
We are not affiliated with the NBA. But yeah, guys, for me, it's Black Ice 8 on everything. Xbox, Twitter, Twitch. Make sure to check me out on Instagram. It's Black Ice 8_gaming. Same thing with my TikTok. And of course, you guys can follow the podcast at XPackPod on Instagram and Xpansion Pack Podcast on TikTok. We definitely post some content almost every week. So with that being said, guys, we'll check you guys out next week. We'll bring you some more gaming news. Thank you guys for watching. Have a good one.
Yeah.